Hello everyone and welcome back to Drifting, episode number... Did I change the episode number? Episode 14. I did change the number, good. It's nice to be back. Unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, we don't have Astrid with us, or Safi here with us today.
It'd be weird if we had Astrid and not Safi.
Well, Astrid's going to be there a little bit, you know. So I may make mention of things, but for the most part, I think it does still make sense that Astrid is a little bit disconnected and isolating still. So I think that makes sense to me, at least.
No, it does.
So, very quick recap, and let's get into it. We went through the captain's belongings. We had a little bit of time to reflect on everyone kind of processing it on their own before everyone came together to chat and to kind of go through what he asked you guys to go through. Inside inside his kind of, you know, footlocker box type thing that he had was a picture of him and Alicia Delac, like smiling, arms around each other. There was a journal, the discharge papers that detailed his discharge from the Marines, a info jack, essentially like a USB stick, and the journal as well. Went through the journal, got some information about his time on a station somewhere. I don't think it said the name of the station. And references to a world ship called Apex. And, additionally, Romy went off for a little bit and came back essentially saying that he'd managed to get in contact with some old friends and track down where the mercenaries operate out of. I was left kind of open as to what exactly they're going to do once they get there, but they're headed that way now. Additionally, Colton had a little bit of an interrogation with Nomi, asking her what that gun was, what it did, and other questions that just essentially confused Nomi, I seem to remember. So we are going to come back in on the ship. Essentially, everyone's going about their regular business, piloting, general fixing and maintaining the power, gardening, engineering, upkeep. One thing that will probably occur to you all at different points is the captain himself never had a solid job on the ship. So even though the loss of the captain may be felt in other ways, in terms of the day-to-day running of the ship, like, there is not much difference aside from there's a gap in the cooking rota.
Please do not feel that, Kareem. We'll be fine.
I'm
Found some dust in the engineering room. I'll be fine.
So
I would not inflict that on you.
GP, I have a question.
Yeah.
Because I forgot about this in the scene.
Yeah.
Peachy, forgot about it. How long has it been since we went through the captain's stuff?
Like a day.
Yeah. Okay.
It's essentially when you're traveling like this, time passes very abstractly, and it's not a massive trip. It's a couple of days. So during those couple of days, you have time to talk to people, highlight anything you're doing in your jobs, things like that, conversations you want to have. At this point, essentially, the captain's stuff is in the locker room, and no one's really doing anything with it. And you all went through it, so it's kind of open to anyone who wants to, look at it or mess with it or something.
Yeah, I would definitely be looking to check out the little info jacks.
Maybe
There was just one, wasn't there?
Yeah. Maybe when I can kind of see like both Colton and Nomi like heading in at the same time. Like,
Awkward pilfering moment.
yeah, and
Oh, no.
you're both after like the same thing. So, it's would you like where would you like to put this info jack? Essentially, a terminal is usually the best way. You can use them on personal kind of tablet type things, just but depending what's on there, you can use the ship terminal that contacts the outside world, or you can use the piloting terminal that's more like,
I mean, it was the captain's, right? I think if we both rocked up and actually found this at the same time, there would be a discussion rather than like,
for sure.
fuck you, buddy.
Forgot about the info jack.
Right. Yes.
You wanna read it?
Yes.
And I'm just like hunting through drawers, trying to find something with a compatible. I'm like, there's like wires and cables and electrical shit just been like circuit boards thrown everywhere.
Yeah.
Wait.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. This will probably work. And I punch it, and it works.
Okay.
I'm not gonna punch this though.
Like technological funds.
So you
God,
just
I'm old.
do you just want to just want to jack it in and see what's in there?
Yeah.
Okay. You essentially open it up. It has one essentially file. It's an audio file. It is the only thing on the info jack, and it takes up possibly more space than could possibly be on there.
This doesn't have speakers. Wait. And I go back to my drawers and I start throwing around cables, and I find this really old, fucking nasty single speaker. Okay, let me pair that. It's not. And I punch it again, and it goes boop 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 boop. Okay, and I'll play the audio file.
Okay. When you boot it up, it starts to play, speaker coming out the, and it says, you hear it say,
finalized coded reports of the incident collated from the report logs of deceased submitted for review to the access denied.
Okay, access denied. Play the... And I punch it again.
same thing.
It usually works. It's an audio file denied.
I can give you this much of your history and your knowledge, Colton. This isn't military, but it's coded. Essentially, the details of it are redacted. In some way.
Is the audio file coded, or is the info jack coded?
Yes.
Maybe it's just the info jack. Can
Could
I
be.
see if I can bypass just to get at the files on there?
Sure.
Wait a minute. And I'm gonna just grab a load of cables and try and set something up
Okay.
to see if I can just basically just solder some wires around so it's not interfacing through where it normally would.
I could tell you, and you don't need to roll on this one, that that doesn't work, essentially.
May I try?
Okay, be careful. That's held on with like sticky tape.
So, Nomi, I can give you a bit more information on this. This is a specialized jack used in information, corporate espionage, espionage of most kinds. In fact, it's probably the reason why Colton doesn't understand exactly what's going on here, because the military don't use this. They use like coded airwaves and radios and that type of thing to
Is
communicate.
the password what I think it is?
There's no password.
Huh.
In fact, what this is it is a jack that, unless plugged into a specific terminal, essentially erases itself and covers it up with distortion for the redacted parts. Essentially, the only way to access it, technically speaking, is to plug it into a specific plug it into a specific terminal, which will decode it and stop it from erasing itself. So the second it boots up and it realizes that it's connected to something, it's inaccessible.
Right. So it boots up and it realizes it's what? Sorry.
The second that it realizes it's connected to a terminal or to anything accessing it, it essentially erases itself. And
The wrong terminal.
the wrong terminal, like so.
Right.
This,
Gotcha.
yeah.
This is going to take a while.
What's wrong with it?
It needs a specific terminal to unlock it. Everything else won't work.
Or you'd need to access it without it realizing.
Can you tell what terminal it's looking for?
No.
Maybe we can fool it into thinking it's into the right terminal. Okay, you get on that.
Right.
Okay, no me.
Well, he seems preoccupied.
Mm.
So I'm gonna, is this his? Oh no. Is this his device thing, Colton?
It would be,
Oh, fuck. Oh, she's so curious now. Okay, she's gonna wait until he's distracted and like pop the little thing on her boot, take the ghost jack out and just pop it in the machine.
like, pop it in before popping in the...
Yep. Oh no.
Okay. Wow.
So Green's just on the bridge hanging out while all this is happening.
I'm
no.
just like reading the daily sheets or something.
So-
I'm like elbow deep in your search history.
So, I wasn't expecting this, so are you accessing the audio log?
Yeah, I'm accessing everything.
Ghost Jack in, accessing the audio log. So, I will say, apologies, this is quite long. This is a lot of lore, so have a
Is it
listen.
playing like out loud
It
in this room?
We'll be playing, yeah, unless you took it off speakers, Naomi.
No.
So yeah, we'll be playing out loud.
How long
in the
did
room.
this take you?
Like 5 seconds.
Okay.
So, yeah, apologies to everyone. If you can't, I will be putting a full transcript in the chat and everything. This will take a lot of time. It's reasonably long, so bear with me for this. But it was quite fun to make, so.
Finalized coded report of the Zenith incident, collated from the report logs of Vice Admiral Delac, deceased, submitted for review to the Combined Forces PSYOPS Department. June 2995. Report. Extract.
World ship Apex constructions continue at high pace. Volunteers from Encroacher, Initiative, and Intersectors brought on board Research Station Nadir, and training begun. Initial findings report minimal synergy or insight as expected.
October 2995. Report. Extract.
First failures analyzed. All display independence of thought and selfish drive. As they were chosen for these traits, such a result is expected. One unexpected finding was the disruption of the group as a result of their loss, implying that, even though they were not suited, some were still integral to their groupings. More tests to follow to explore these findings.
February 2996. Report. Extract.
First indications of group identity forming under intense training and forced conflict. However, knowledge of command involvement has minimized its effectiveness. In future, it is advised to make conflicts and events seem natural. More dropouts are occurring, but the sense of purpose remains high among trainee ranks.
March 2996. Report. Extract.
First death recorded as a result of natural causes. No identifier present for cause, as expected. Officer in question, possible victim of the Mindquake virus, as it has been termed. Indications imply it was an isolated incident and not an indication of a larger event. However, care will be taken with intel dispersion to officers in the future.
August 2996. Report. Extract.
As the number of subjects lower, groups form and meld together, forming stronger bonds and increased competitiveness between subjects. Casualties have been minimized, however, deaths among the failed subjects have had a noted increase as stakes are being raised for trainees. Additionally, preparations for Worldship Apex continue as ordered.
April 2997. Report. Extract.
Detonation of the Worldship Apex executed. Immediate change in demeanor logged, followed by despair and listlessness. All attempts to reverse these changes were unsuccessful, and despite our training, even the officers are displaying similar disconnected attitudes. I myself have been experiencing a slow degradation of my psyche, the effects much like vertigo. Only noticeable because we had anticipated it. It was always a risk of this operation, but I find strong, solid emotions can help to allay and ward off this state.
June 2997. Report. Extract.
As expected, the loss of focus and hope has degraded the situation on the Nadir. After apathetically carrying out everyday activities and even implementing the inclusion of narcotics and incentives, no progress was made. Multiple officers have died, as have some of the remaining subjects. I, too, feel the loss of purpose, the crushing feeling of being alone, hopelessly dragging me down into the black. As were the risks when this operation was put into effect, I feel we will all soon die. I will, however, endeavor to save any I can before ultimately succumbing to the dark.
June 2997. Final transmission.
It's dark out there. The weight of what we're trying to fight is unrelenting. A juggernaut of doom and death we never saw coming until it was too late. Maintain current course. The truth will only lead to the death of our race and the corrosion of everything that we are. We must bear the weight and focus on any glimmer of hope left to us. I have none left. I cannot even save the man I love. I can only deliver my final request to him before I, too, surrender. Any survivors should be interrogated and examined. However, no survivors should be expected. Hope is the killer when we find it wrenched away from us. Alessia Delac out.
After action interrogation of survivor Corporal Fane Leth found no indication of genetic or psychological quirks to indicate survival. Possible theories omitted until actionable proof becomes available. Advised course, cessation of war and a period of peace to ascertain viability in current social and psychological climate. Initiating peace protocol, further wars and tensions on hold.
What?
Yes. He was a survivor.
Of a
A
weapon?
virus. An accident. Perhaps.
If there's any, if you want me to go over any of it, just ask.
Just the cliff notes would
Yeah,
be awesome.
can you give a breakdown? Because I don't think I'm understanding what it is. Or if I am, what the fuck?
Yeah. So the intro is obviously a robotic report voice that says coded report of the Zenith incident collated from the report logs of Vice Admiral Delac, deceased. Submitted for review to the Combined Forces PsyOps department. It then goes
PsyOps.
PsyOps, yeah.
As in...
Psychological warfare.
Okay.
It then...
This is where I thought it was. What the fuck, dude? Carry on, sorry.
It then goes into Alessia's reports that essentially they highlighted the important parts and collated them into a report for the department, which is volunteers arrive to Research Station Nadir, which must have been the station that they were stationed on, from Encroacher, Initiative, and Inner Sectors, so the military from all three. And training begun, trying to find possibly insight or synergies between groups. As time went on, people started to drop out. They were failed in some way. It sounded, at the very least, like they intentionally included selfish and individualistic personalities who were intended to fail. Going on from that, they saw indications of groups forming and identifying with each other under intense training and basically constructed conflict. The thing is that it wasn't as effective because they realized that it was the officers, the people in charge, who were producing the conflict. Be things like first one up that wall wins free extra rations or something type thing. So they decided to step up the conflict, but make it more less obvious that it was constructed or forced. Then first death of natural causes. No cause of death identified. It was an officer, not a test subject or trainee. And they thought that possibly it was due to what they called the Mindquake virus. As it was termed, so whatever that means to you. And they said that in the future, they will be minimizing intel dispersion to the officers in charge. As the subjects started to drop out or to leave, the groups became stronger and more bonded together, the ones that were left. However, they were saying there were more deaths, especially among the failed subjects, as they increased the stakes. And preparations for World Ship Apex were continuing. On the next one, they said that they detonated the World Ship Apex as ordered. And after that, immediately logged change in demeanor, despair, listlessness. lack of drive. Attempts to reverse changes were unsuccessful, and even the officers are starting to display disconnected attitudes and similar things. Alicia herself was feeling the effects and said that while it was subtle and vague, she was essentially, they were looking for it, so they were able to find it early. Then said, as expected, the loss of focus and hope has degraded the situation on the Nadir. Essentially, they included incentives, narcotics, alcohol, everything, and it still didn't have any effect to, like, raise people's spirits or, you know, get them working and back to everything. Multiple officers died, as had quite a lot of the remaining subjects. And then she spoke about herself feeling the effects of, like, what she described as something dragging her down into the black. Then there's the final report, which I'll put it up there again, but it's essentially a lot more personal than informational. And then the final part was the summary of what happened afterwards. Interrogation of Corporal Fane Leth. They found no indication to indicate why he survived. They omitted all theories because they're only theories, and there was no way to tell. They essentially got no conclusive evidence for anything. Then it said, the advised course, cessation of war and a period of peace to ascertain viability in the current social and psychological climate, initiating peace protocol, further wars and tensions on hold.
I didn't describe what the weapon was, how it was deployed. Area effect, nothing.
The wars were a construct.
All of them?
Perhaps.
No. No way. No.
Why?
I refuse to believe that every war. Do you know how many people I've seen die? There's no way.
There is. They did it. Here. It might not. We. Information is missing.
This can't be spread throughout the entire galaxy.
Combined forces. All of them.
I stand up, and everything that I was working on my desk, I just throw it off the desk.
Yeah.
I just kind of stand there.
Metal fist into the table, desk.
No, just that one burst, and then I'm just standing still.
Why? Why?
Yeah, I don't really react.
And I imagine that Nomi's probably talking half to herself.
Oh, yeah, she wasn't even asking him a question.
Is she going over some of her own?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
World ship Apex.
Nomi, I'll give you this as well. Nadir, the same way Apex means peak, Nadir means the lowest.
Mm-hmm. They destroyed it. They... As ordered, it says. As ordered.
Too late. Nomi,
Yes.
please leave.
Sorry?
Get out.
Right. Should I take this to...
Just get out.
Right. She'll turn on her heel and just leave.
Soon as the door closes, all you can hear is crashing and banging and screaming.
Where does Nomi go?
She'll stand out there and listen.
It go, you know, like when he threw stuff off his desk and then controlled himself.
Yeah.
It's nothing like that. It goes on for way longer than you would expect someone to lose their temper for.
She'll just wait. And she's taken that particular console with the jacks out with her.
Yeah.
Because she kind of expected this. And she's going to wait for it to go silent.
Shall we take a moment just to touch on the mentality for both of you? I'll start with Nomi. Colton can have a little bit of, a time to himself doing that. How you feeling on it, Nomi? It's a lot.
Confused.
Yeah. It doesn't give the whole picture. It alludes to things.
I don't enjoy alluding.
Mm.
I like facts.
I mean, there are facts in there.
There are. But crucial information is missing. And I think that makes it harder in a way.
Yeah.
Because there's no indication of the scale or the time frame or reasons you'd want to collate this with other reports, with all sorts of things to get the full picture.
And the combined PsyOps department implies some form of like collaboration between governments.
Yep.
Which is something you've never heard of specifically.
Yeah. And her head's just flashing back to the planet with that nonsensical why is this happening cordon being put up and the way that people felt there.
Because, obviously it's hard to always maintain all the information on a completely new setting and lore and everything. I'll give you some pieces of information that you would all know of, essentially. And I can't say whether they're connected or not, but they're information. So the Independence Wars happened in 2700 to 2800, essentially. It was about 50 years. And that was between the EAP and the inner governments. Essentially, the EAP wanted, an encroacher in general, wanted independence from the inner government, and they got it. I think the last colonizations and outposts founded on the further away planets were around about mid 2800s, like 2840, 2850. Then in about 2880, the free conflict starts between the Freedom Initiative and the encroacher allied planets. This is around about the time that Matari was completely wiped out, essentially evacuated and wiped out. It was bombed into non-existence, and it's been declared hazardous for 500 years. After that, about 110 years ago was when the free conflict ended and peace was brokered between the EAP and the Initiative, and since then has been tensions between all three factions, a good couple of wars, on and off, lasting quite a long time until peace was signed about 9 to 10 years ago from the present day. A peace was officially declared about 4 or 5 years ago, and the cessation of hostilities essentially started around 3000, which was probably a few years after this report, the end of this report, final transmission.
There is not enough Red Bull in the fucking world to make any of this make sense to me right now.
That's fair.
But Nomi is deeply concerned about what this means.
Yeah.
Have we ever heard any reference to this virus before? And there's no indication in any of that Jack.
I would say
whether it was a deliberately constructed virus.
There's no indication. I would say, going off the way it's referred to, it's something that was discovered, probably. Just the way Alessia said, as it's been termed, implies that it was named. And,
Right.
Yeah.
I think she'll just stand there in the corridor outside, almost just staring into thin air, trying to process all this information.
Colton, we're going to delve into your thoughts a little bit. I would say after essentially you've kind of trashed the room, we'll come back in with you like metal arm against a locker, like head against it there, just kind of taking a pause for a second. How you doing?
I mean, he can't process that.
It's a bit too big to really take in properly.
Like his entire life until he left the military was bullshit.
Possibly.
Every single person he's known, seen die, killed was pointless. There is the when you're a soldier and you're fighting a war, you're fighting for the right thing. Be it your freedom, someone else's freedom. To get rid of the bad guys. This is all manipulated, and wars have been invented. And because war and the military built Colton is not real. Everything he's learned up to that point, it's informed him after he's left the military. Like, all those core values instilled him in training, he's not a person anymore. He's not even a mistake. He's nothing.
I'm going to inject a little bit of the core of Colton's stubborn personality as he's going through this, and just basically like give rise to some of his, kind of counter thoughts and counter arguments that may pop up. What about the Battle of the Fitful Falls? As one of his earlier battles on New Elfin, when he was protecting essentially his home.
The food wars?
Yes. When the initiative made raids on New Elfin. That was a early time in his career, but he essentially spent his entire time there protecting people he knew and loved from the raids and from invasion.
But the people who were invading him, that was all fabricated.
Does that matter?
Yeah. I don't think a nuance of that is something that Colton would be able to process.
Not right now, no, probably not.
Ever. I don't think he could ever process that, not by himself at least.
Yeah.
Maybe in 50 years he could gain a glimmer of understanding, but every single conflict that he's been involved in, large, small, massive,
depending
all
on
of it.
Depending on how long this has been going and how true this is. Like,
Yeah.
the implications...
Again, that's not something that...
Yeah.
He's pure rage right now. He is
yeah, I know, but...
angry. There is no way that he can think about any of that stuff, because what he just heard has eradicated his life.
Yep.
Like, currently, he doesn't know who he is, because he was made by the army, and he was good at it. That was his purpose. And it's not just having your purpose taken away from you. It's your purpose never meant anything.
And as all of these things are swirling through both of your heads, just... crew meeting up in the kitchen area, please. We're getting close to our destination.
Be right there.
Okay.
I shoot the intercom and slump down on the floor.
Would I hear that?
You would
through the
hear a
door?
shot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm straight in there.
He's slumped on the floor. The intercom has been shot.
I'll kneel down, sort of enough in front of him so that he won't think I'm attacking him in any way. Just silent. And tentatively just slowly reach a hand across and touch it on his upper arm.
Probably no reaction.
Would you like to leave it there for a little bit, or would you like to...
She'll very slowly reach out and touch a hand to the gun in his hand to see what his reaction is.
No, I'm just pretty still. I'm probably breathing quite heavily. If you look around the room, it's fucking destroyed. There is shit everywhere. Like, the lockers are just thrown everywhere. His desk is upside down.
Massive
Tools
dents.
all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah. She'll very slowly and gently wrap her hands around the handle of the gun and just take it out of his hand.
Yeah, I wouldn't fight. There's no fight left in me at the moment.
And the second it's in her hand, get rid of all the ammo in it, disassemble without even looking at it.
Yeah. Take it completely apart.
Yep, gone.
Do you want to lay it in front of him? Like the disassembled pieces?
Just to the side. She doesn't want this to feel like a challenge, just a...
Yeah.
I am saving you from yourself right now. And then she'll just cross her legs and sit there in silence with him.
No, the intercom essentially fires up again, and hard to hear because the intercom in here is broken.
Did we have personal, like, headset type communication, or is it all...
Not for general day to day. Usually it's if you go out of the ship in general. There's another one in the hangar you can go to if you're happy leaving Colton.
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, hang on.
In that case, Kareen, when you turn up, you'll be sitting there for a little bit of time before Romy asks, could you go see what's taking Colton and Nomi so long?
Sure. I'd get up and walk down there. So when I walk up, is the door like broken?
I imagine the door will be fine, but it'll probably be open, I would guess.
I think I'd like hesitate and then walk up slowly and then just kind of be in the door.
Nomi's eyes are straight on you the second you move.
Nomi? Colton?
Finger to the lips.
Mm.
The whole place is trashed.
It looks like a truck just drove through the room.
Yeah, clearly something bad has happened. And
like,
you can feel the rage, anger, and tension in this room, and a little bit of concern maybe.
I would just look at Nomi and like mouth without actually making noise, like,
Mouth what happened to you.
yeah.
Like, explosion hand gesture,
Yeah.
and then 10 minutes.
And I'd like back away, still looking at her, and I'd go back to the crew area and go to Romy. Something's happened with Colton. I don't know exactly what. His room, he seemed so angry. Nomi said they'd come up, or at least she'd come up in a bit. I think we should give him some time.
All right, we can do that. There's no rush. Why don't you go down to the cockpit and just get everything ready for landing?
Okay.
We're not going to be docking because there's nowhere to dock really. So pick a good spot, reasonably near, and just a light on it.
Okay. I don't understand why he'd be so angry.
I'm sure we'll find out. But until then, let's let Naomi handle it.
Okay. And Karine would go to the bridge and basically get ready to land.
Naomi? Colton?
I am more than happy to stay in silence right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, we're frozen on that scene for a while with just Naomi kind of crouched just a little ways away from Colton, the disassembled gun pieces on the side, and Colton just kind of like slumped, head in arms. Naomi, after 10 minutes passes, what's the plan? Where do you want to go from here?
She's. This whole fucking room's full of weaponry.
I mean, it's locked up and everything, but Colton...
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If he wants it, he'll get it. He's being babysat now. She'll kind of again do that very gentle touch, just on like firm but not squeezing, just on the top of his arm to bring him round to that moment, at least make him aware of something.
I think after a while I'm certainly aware that you're in the room, but I'm not really... I don't look like I'm trying to interact with you. I'm just like, yeah, you're in the room. That's fine.
We need to meet up with the others. You don't have to say anything. All right.
Yeah.
She'll stand up and offer her arm, and it's like a kind of military, like arm grasp she goes for. The kind of thing you help somebody up with.
Like a forearm clasp type thing.
Yeah.
Colton.
Yes.
Trying to think of the right way to put this. That anger still there?
Yes, but sort of
Tampered down
the
a bit.
exhaustion has definitely tempered it. It's definitely still there. If you look in his eyes, you can see that.
And how much are you paying attention to your thoughts, emotions, and feelings right now? Or is it just all instinctual and just like...
It's probably higher functions taking care of that,
Yeah.
and I don't think he's paying attention to his thoughts
Okay.
because his thoughts are just everything in his brain right now.
Yeah, that's fair. And do you head up to the meeting
Yeah,
with Captain?
I'll take Nomi's arm and then I'll follow her up.
Okay. Once they get there, Kreen, you'll be messaged again, and you can come up and join.
Yeah, I'll just come up. When I enter the room, where is everybody?
Probably sitting around the table.
Okay, I'd probably hesitate just a tiny little bit and then go sit down and just kind of...
I would suggest that probably it would be hard to get closer to Colton, so you'd probably take the other side of the table. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
it's not as bad now. That whole atmosphere that was like explosive, it's more like yeah, calm before the storm. Maybe, who knows where it's gonna go. And Romy, like, very much tries not to, focus on Colton and, be worried. Yeah, he's clearly a little bit concerned, but he doesn't want to push. And he says, right, so I've been having a little bit of a think about where we're going and what we're going to do when we get there. I had a chat with Astrid. She's not really looking to come with us right now, but I think it's best to go there without the intention of full-on revenge immediately, and see what's going on there, and see maybe all we need to do, send a little warning to Kareen's dad, basically that he can't have her back, and to stop trying to come after her. Might work, might not, but at the very least we'll be better prepared next time, and we've given them a warning at least. I was just wondering if anyone had any objections.
I doubt it'll work, to be honest. It might just make him push harder. I don't know.
Nomi?
We could just disappear.
We could. Harder to get jobs.
Yeah.
Colton? And it's more like a not engaging conversation, but just like a
Reminder he exists.
going for that grunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just generally agreeing to everything in the room and haven't been paying attention to any of it.
Blank gazing. Yeah. I was thinking, and like he looks at you, Norby, and like a kind of questioning, is this possible way that myself, Colton, and you know me would head in to talk to them?
I'm happy to go with you. I don't know if Colton needs some rest.
Alright. We'll see when we get there. Kareen, apologies, but considering the situation, it seems silly to bring you with us. And
Right.
also, someone's got to look after Astrid.
Right. I can do that.
If anyone comes around trying to give you grief, hit him with the ship. Right?
I can do that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd give you a gun, but
The ship. I'm better at flying the ship.
yeah.
I can do that.
Right. We've got a couple of hours before we get there, so that's the plan of action. Let's take a little time, and we'll reconvene when it's time to suit up and go.
Right.
I'll make something to eat.
Thank you.
before you do.
Yeah.
And she'll hand over the tablet. Or whatever it was. You, Corinne and Astrid, should listen to that. Somewhere that isn't here.
Okay, let's go to the bridge.
All right.
There's coffee if Colton might want some. I'll just put on a pot on my way out.
Thank you.
Okay. Head out. I won't play the recording again.
Yeah.
But Kareen, I imagine after hearing that, you'll want some alone time. And
Yeah.
Romy definitely will as well. Colton, Nomi, I'd assume unless you either bring Colton to the garden or I don't know.
He's just following her like a sheep right now and following instructions. She would absolutely take him to the garden because at least there's a higher concentration of oxygen there.
Yeah.
And it might help. And she can do the things that need doing while babysitting him. It's an efficiency thing.
Colton, do you automatic pilot, lend a hand, do anything, or are you just kind of like going to stew,
I
as it
I think what he would do is he would follow Nomi. She goes into the thing.
were? Yeah.
Even like he doesn't know he's being babysit, you know.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to be alone,
Yeah.
and that's not something he would admit to. So he's probably in there like checking the lights and the sprinkler system, as if there's a problem and I just need to make sure this is okay.
Yeah. In a very disconnected way, where it's just like going through the motions. As
Why would I be
opposed to-
here? I need to be doing something.
Yeah.
Doing that. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, this is triple efficiency then. Good.
The thing to do in the garden, help out and
Fix shit.
yeah. Kareen would be on the bridge, just kind of in shock, just sitting there, like staring out into space, just in shock. And she honestly is actually thinking about Colton and
Makes
now,
a lot more sense now.
yeah, like she understands why he's so angry. She's like devastated for him.
When you and Romy listen to the recording, Astrid will hear it at some point, but not quite yet. You didn't really get anything from him. He essentially very like deadpan, I'm gonna go and make dinner, and then walked out. And it's hard to tell what he was feeling, to be honest, because he gave no indication. So,
Yeah.
next couple of hours pass, and again, you're all processing. I would imagine that due to the implications, it's like shocking and it rocks you, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to process. It's a lot more epic than, it's hard to wrap your mind around the thought processes needed to really process it, etc. So going forward, I imagine there's a slight shell shock aspect to everyone, but we all process these things differently. So
I'm
I
not
think-
sure you'd actually notice a difference in anything that Nomi's done.
no, I would imagine not.
Yeah, I think Kareen's had so many shocks. This is just kind of another one, but she's just really concerned for Colton. She doesn't think she can do anything for him. She's just kind of feeling it because it's easier to focus on one person than the whole world, you know? So she's just kind of worrying about him.
Yeah. And then dinner is served. As Romy calls you all in, Kareen, you essentially set down on a section of the station that is currently unlit, as it is in its orbit around the dark side of the planet, away from the sun. It's very run down. Sections of the station do seem to be depressurized, but they are, as far as you can tell, unpopulated and essentially abandoned. Think a spaceship in a horror game or film. It's flickering lights, power going off and on. Not completely destroyed, not, it's still functional. It's just a bit run down. Bit dirty, bit etc. Some debris every now and then. Is everyone heading up for dinner?
Yeah.
It is a stew. It is a Greylick stew with potatoes, carrots, and onions. So it's got a little bit of spice in there. Nice kick. It's warm and reasonably comforting to the degree that the food can be comforting, of course. And I imagine that everyone sits there in silence eating, because I know Romy has no intention of bringing anything up until food has been.
I think when she enters the room, she'll make eye contact with both of them, Kareen and Romy, and just kind of nod.
Romy nods back. He seems surprisingly calm.
She'll just go to washing her hands immaculately and then sit down to eat.
Yeah, Kareen's just going through the motions. She kind of helps, like, hand things from Romy to Bolton and Nomi, and just doesn't say anything.
I think Colton's sort of like poking at his food.
Yeah.
And I think he's a bit more corpus mentis, of aware of his situation. It's been a while now. The initial
Few
shock,
hours and, yeah.
like how exhausted he was from destroying an entire room, has maybe worn off.
He may not make the connection, but he's probably been through this before in service in the military, where essentially, like, there's a shock or something he wasn't prepared for just hitting him out of nowhere. He's essentially had to process it reasonably quickly and deal with it. Not saying that he, is in that state right now, but it's probably similarities.
I think there's similarities, but I think this is so...
Oh, this is so different. Yeah.
It's so above the pay grade of any other twist in his life. I think there's only one time where he has felt this...
low.
Useless.
Yeah.
But I think he looks up and is in the room. He's there. He's
there
definitely there.
Mm-hmm.
There's no need for heavy lifting, really. I don't think. We don't know what's going to be in there when we get there, and at best, my intentions are deliver the word, say good day, and then move on. I think, given everything, taking the captain to his final resting place is probably something we all want to do sooner now.
Yeah.
So, on with the job. Do what we need to do. Keep moving, let's get going. Any objections?
Maybe one.
Speak.
Let's make this station useless to them.
As in how?
Any power reactors. Take them out, shut them down. They have no base. They fragment. And no one can use them for jobs. Or won't even want to.
Definitely something I would be willing to consider, but let's see how meeting them goes first, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright. Colton, Nomi, if you're up for it, suit up.
I can try and scan for power sources while you're out. Just in case.
Yeah, pinpoint them if you can. We won't necessarily use it, but it'll be good to know. Alright, 10 minutes. We'll get going.
I go to my office and try and find some shit.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of what you destroyed was essentially furniture and like dented lockers and stuff. So, additionally, you'll probably notice this, but on the essentially the shopping list, and you can tell it's the hand of Romy. There's a higher priority request for flak jackets with armor front and back.
Okay. I will grab just a sidearm.
Yeah. Pistol.
Yeah. I got a beefy pistol, but just a sidearm. I will also set up a portable toolbox, like a tech ops kind of bag, and put that on my back.
As you're like gearing up, Romy walks in. With like a kind of like inlaid wooden box, like very embellished, very fancy, and puts it down on your desk. Opens it up, turns it around, presents it to you.
Is that the captain's gun?
Yeah. It's been wiped of biometric signatures, so you can imprint it to you, and only you'll be able to use it. Captain wanted you to have it, apparently.
He wanted me to have it.
I think he thought you'd appreciate it.
I take the gun out of my waistband and I replace it with the captain's gun.
Yeah. So going forward, you can essentially, it's like a thumbprint lock, so it won't fire or do anything, or even like activate without your thumbprint. And essentially it is a supercharged slug thrower. It can, technically speaking, it's probably one of the only things that can penetrate the hull of the ship, maybe. So you got to be careful with it. It is it's beyond military. It's like a specialist gun. So
I don't think Colton has ever had an accidental discharge in his life.
no.
Yeah, is there an issue there, Millie?
Yeah, 2 seconds.
But he's getting older. You never know.
There's less chance.
All good.
So, tooled up, ready to go. Naomi, you're taking anything specific?
Taking Katie, the gun that Colton gave me, and the needler gun, which is already loaded.
And then maybe a few, like, down the sleeves and boots and etc. Yeah, okay. Have to check.
You know, the usual.
The usual, okay. So,
More knives than a Chinese kitchen.
Let's go with that, yeah.
you head out. Kareen, you start
Scanning.
and looking around the station. There's more activity than you'd thought, and accessing essentially the blueprints of the station. There are multiple places that are used as cargo by the Delac industry. It's just they don't use the station anymore. It's essentially like they use it for unimportant storage, essentially, pretty much. Walking through the station, it's mostly quiet. You do pass by multiple groups of people who have the equivalent of like fabric tents and flaming barrels, you know, like it's very like drifter little villages about the place, people kind of sitting around doing nothing, rags, listless look in their eyes, that type of thing. Until you get to the No Hold. It's a bar. Essentially, there's there's a reasonable amount of activity around it, just not that many people going in and out. It seems to be a minimal hub type of thing. Quite a few like people on the edge, you know, like to the side of the building or just hanging around nonchalantly but suspiciously, if you get me. A lot of people here have that look that you've probably all seen on planets here and there. I'd say the last time you saw it properly was probably on Praeoris. That kind of like
Desperation?
A mix of desperation and lack of purpose. And then
That's a fucking mood, isn't it?
yeah. And then you are outside the doors to the No Holds Bar.
So what's the plan? No shooting. Unless we need to shoot.
Be prepared, just in case. But I would say no shooting unless they start something. Don't escalate if it gets into a fight. I reckon we can handle ourselves in a fist fight as long as there's not like 80, 90 of them. Alright.
I like rotate my hand as if I'm noticing for the first time.
Ouch.
No, I got this. 78. Alpha platoon retreated, and we got surrounded by a small number of enemies. Weren't expecting it. Fragmentation rocket came shooting over from where we thought allies were. Hit me square in the arm. Knocked me off my feet.
You feel a little nudge, like a you know, small impact of like a fist friendly hitting you on the you know, your shoulder. And Romy says, "Come on, let's do this," and pushes forward through the door.
Follow him through.
Yep.
Okay.
Same.
Inside the bar is multiple people around multiple tables. There's a barman and there's a couple of bar staff behind the bar, just kind of going back and forth. Some of them waiting to serve, and one of them just kind of like pouring out, mixing drinks and that type of thing. The vibe in here is not happy, but it's a little bit let loose. You can see probably 5 tables full of people. One of them back in the corner is like playing cards clearly, and you know they're probably the loudest. A lot of back and forth and conversation going. There's 3 tables closer to the door where just kind of, there's two women and a man, 3 men and 2 women. They're drinking, they're talking in kind of low tones. Seems like they're making, maybe shifty deals, or like just discussing plans or that type of stuff. And there's a table all the way back. Sheepy's also just gonna...
Quick question, Sheepy.
Yeah.
When we saw them on the planet, did they have any like gang colors or any identifiers?
Not really, but I can tell you that their gear was very ex-military.
Right.
And I, like, as you kind of do a once-over of this room, the back 2 tables have similar gear. The front 3 tables, everyone there mostly has what looks like more the things you see on people, you've been seeing on people outside before you came in.
Ragtag gear.
Bit more ragtag.
Yeah.
And they seem to be being a bit more quiet as well. Whereas the other 2 tables, one of them is very loud. The other one's there's just no talking at all. The last table is 2 women, 3 men, all kind of like slumped in their chairs, and they're the only ones who don't react at all to you turning up.
Question for Nomi as well. Are you like watching Colton?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think
not
just keeping an eye on him, kind of deal.
Yeah, for sure.
I think when you see him scanning the room, it like Stoneface, it looks like his game face comes on, and he's
A bit more himself.
What you would assume to be himself.
Yeah.
Like he looks like game face is currently on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of like nudge towards the back room.
Yeah.
The back tables.
And again, just to finish off the table, the final table where they're not playing cards, there is a big bowl in the center that is kind of like oily colors, like an oil slick, as the color of this like glass bowl, and inside are these big like I need the colors right. Inside there is, there we go. Okay, is long orange and red like tubes of something. One of which has been like sliced open down the center, and inside are these little like black and white like capsule type things that have like a big kind of sharp barb or something coming out of it.
One moment, call up.
Yeah.
How dare you send me shopping?
I lean into Romy.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to play this? Good cop, back up. Back up, back up.
And he's like looking around, and when you initially came in, everyone looked up. After that, they just go back to what they're doing. He goes, let's not stand suspiciously in the doorway. Let's grab a drink, and then maybe make some forwards. I'm thinking maybe don't disturb their game and go for the other table.
Yep. I game face on, stride in, go towards the bar.
And Romy goes with, I assume, Nomi, you as well would like to go with?
Yeah. I
Have
don't
you-
want to steal any of the seeds. We're fine. We've got them.
But you know what they do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. you probably have an idea of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
3 whiskeys straight.
Right away. And starts like just going for shots, I guess, like getting the shots and spins them over, asks for some credits, and you can hand over some credits.
Yeah, I just tossed some credits over.
You've got the money.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
So, and like obviously the bar staff don't like hang around listening to you. It's not that type of place. So they moved intentionally away. And Romy low enough says, so, anyone want to go and make the first overture?
When you notice in the back table, modern hardware, military spec maybe. Front of the bar, nothing. Scaffers. Mercs. Freelance. Some weird shit on that table.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Food.
It's food.
Well, eventually.
As you are like looking over the table, you see one of the girls like lean forward, like pick up one of the seeds, and just jam it into her arm, and like squeeze it, and it kind of like squishes and.
That don't look like food.
And then her head kind of like lolls back, and
Also a drug. Some things can be 2 things.
Okay. How about Lost Space Trucker?
Sounds good.
And I down the whiskey.
Yeah.
And I walk towards the table and I do the slightly wobbly sort of walk. And I kind of like stumble into the table and put my hand on. Yeah. You ever been to Marguerite?
And like all probably like most of them look up in kind of like a little dreamy, like disconnected way at you. As you're looking around them, one of their eyes like snaps open, and he like stares at you like in kind of disbelief for a second, and like shakes his head a little bit, and then just goes smack and like smacks the side of his face really hard. Like shakes his head again and like looks at you again and goes, Commander Nguyen. Is that you, sir?
No. I kind of look around. I was not expecting this curveball right now.
And he like stands up and he's like, Sir, I served with you in the 6th Battalion.
Addies.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Sorry.
What are you doing here?
And he sits back down and he goes, I'm just working, sir. Well, I mean, I was taking a break from working, but I was working, sir.
You work here?
Yeah, after,
Yeah.
sorry, sir. I'm, Corporal Monson, sir. 6th
Does that ring
Battalion.
a particular bell?
Like vague memories, sure. But you were in charge of quite a lot of people.
6th Battalion. That's nothing particular, so that was maybe...
It is. Liberator.
Liberator, Sicarus, Fitful.
What it essentially means, he served with you on the Broken Plains.
Broken Plains?
Yeah.
Sorry, I have a lot of military history.
That's my fault. I'm sorry for that.
No, it's good. It's great. It's just trying to find specific...
Yeah.
So that's not White Rock. Broken Plains. Battle of Broken Plains.
Amelia
Liberator.
literally just had the exact same thing happen to her when she's like, okay, notes time.
Where's my plant spreadsheet?
That was a rough one.
That was was a hell of a conflict. And I just like go to sit down and just like budge the two.
And they
people.
just kind of like, it's and like he like looks up and he goes, "Can I get a couple of whiskeys, please? Thank you." And the bartender's like, does a nod, and within like a minute or two, a couple more whiskeys are brought down. And he says, "That's where I took a long shot, sir. It's took me out of the fight, and it was a rough one, definitely."
Yeah, sometimes you gotta follow orders. Listen, kid, what are you working for?
But right now, sir, no one.
Freelance.
Well, we kind of get people come in here, ask us to do a job or whatnot.
Got a group?
Oh yeah, just all of us here. He kind of like this table and the poker table. There's more of us here and there, but this is like, it's where we operate out of.
How many?
People come and go a little bit. They earn a little money and move on if they have something they want to finance. I don't know, like us here, like 20 more. It depends, really.
A little bit louder, so if anyone else was listening, could you hear me say 20? 20, huh? Sweet gig. Who runs the group?
He's not here at the moment. He went off on a job, but his name's David.
Ring a bell.
But he's kind of, he's just the one who people come to for the jobs, really. Like, we all decide to take on a job and, go out, earn some money, come back. I've had to be paying for my lung. They took my old shot one out and put a new one in. And since then, I've kind of been paying for it. And, like, his eyes, like, drift slightly to the seeds on the table, in kind of like a hesitant, shamed way.
Yeah. Huh.
And, after they drummed me out the army, after they drummed me out the Marines, I just kind of, needed some way to make money, and I've just kind of hung on here ever since. I'm not particularly attached to it, but it's a job.
What was your position? Sorry, kid. It was a lot of...
No, it's all good. I was a gunner in assault vehicles, mostly,
Vehicles. And, you like this?
Well, not really.
Merc job.
I mean, as I said, it pays the bills, but it's not really something I've become married to or anything like that.
Sometimes you need people to get some stuff done.
There you go.
So this David, if I had the job, I'd need to speak to him.
Oh, definitely. But he's gone away. He's gone off to shite. I think his job was out on LTN or something like that.
Yeah, what do he look like?
Big guy, quite muscly, couple of scars on his face, like that type of thing. He essentially describes the dude who shot the captain.
Right.
But, you can always leave it with us and we'll, you just leave your request and down payment and, we essentially pass the job out to any one of us who fancy taking it on. Pretty simple system.
Hey, I'll be right back. You, relax.
Oh, no problem there. And he takes the whiskey and slams it down.
Okay. Yeah, I walk back and lean back on the bar, conspiratorially, as if to speak to, I am going to go and speak to Nomi.
Yeah.
Nomi has been kind of leaning up against the bar, making a fairly alarming show of not knowing what she's doing or being an emotionless robot, and kind of slightly touching Romy's arm like she's flirting with him a little bit as they're talking.
Romy's like so nonplussed, and he's just like, I don't. Colton,
Yeah. So I lean on the bar. Beer.
There you are.
Kinda know that guy. Serve with him. Gonna. I mean, he's still alive, so he must have been a good one. You know the guy that pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
He's-
Back on Altium.
Yeah. He's kind of in charge. He took the jobs.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Why don't we get our own table and invite your friend over for a drink?
I think that's a good idea.
Alright.
But first, I just gotta nip to the toilet.
There you are. So,
She's like grinning at him, and I think it's probably the first time he's ever seen her smile properly.
Nomi?
Yes.
Good, just checking. Why don't you get us a table? Sorry, I'm doing the captain for a second. Oh god, I'm doing the captain! Nomi. Why don't you get us a table? And I'll get some drinks in. And Colton can go and invite that gentleman over so we can chat to him.
All right then. I'm gonna like flirtily squeeze his arm and go and get a table.
And Romy like turns around to the bar and like if anyone's looking, he goes like shaking something off. Around, please. 4 people. And Kareen, just checking in with you very quickly. You have essentially the location of the power sectors. Some of them are like very low. It'd be like personal use or like to power a house, etc. There's quite a lot of them, indicating that probably some people have their own generators, which are very basic and very kind of like, this powers my house, which is a tent type thing. There's a couple of major ones, and you've located the one that powers the area that everyone's gone to. So, everyone will have their headsets in going out on a mission like this, or a, excursion like this. So you can always pipe in and let them know the details if you want.
Yeah, I think I would do that actually.
Okay.
Romy?
It's kind of like Soto voice, like, yeah.
So, I've located, I think, the major power sources. There's quite a number of them, but most are minor. But there's a few bigger ones that I think we should just make note of.
Right, yeah.
How's it going down there?
Stranger than you'd imagine.
Okay. Strange is better than bad.
Noemi was smiling at me.
Really?
Yeah,
That is strange.
yeah. I feel the need for a drink. I'll report back into you soon.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Alright.
I think Kareen would just be like, and she'd she'd probably just kind of like leave the scanner on just in case she missed something. Just set it up to do one more sweep.
Keep it running a
maybe,
sweep, okay.
Yeah. And then maybe go down to kind of check on Astrid, bring her something to drink, coffee.
There's some leftover food as well. She didn't come out for dinner, so you could always take her at dinner.
Yeah, just to go check on her.
Okay.
Put down fucking towels in the toilet.
So, Colton, I assume you're going to go over to You only know him currently as Corporal Monson. You didn't get his first name yet.
Yeah, I walk back. Yo, Monson,
Yes, sir.
can I have a drink?
Oh, right, sure, sir. Like, very easily just stands up. Everyone else is, like, everyone else on that table is, like, kind of listless and out of it. He's perked up a little bit, but he's still, like, a little bit, you know, kind of hazy.
Yeah. Hey, so these are my friends. This is Romeo and Julie.
It's nice to meet you, Romeo. And it, like, reaches out his hand. Romeo goes, yeah, you too. Like, looks at Colton for a second as he's, like, holding the hand.
He's lucky I didn't say Romeo and Juliet, because I was about to.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be Romeo and Nomeo, and I was going to punch you. What did you say was Nomi's name again? Sorry.
Julie.
Julie. And you too, Julie. Nice to meet you.
You too.
Right. Well, and he like sits down and says, "So, Commander Nguyen, what have you been doing yourself, sir?"
Call me Colin.
I'll try to remember that.
What's your name?
Oh, sorry, Roga.
Roga. Colton. Romeo.
Julie.
Julie.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we do mercenary work ourselves.
Oh,
here and
really?
there.
Where'd you operate out of?
In Ulfsbrick Station.
Oh, okay. Is there much work out there? Is it kind of shitty and run down like this, or is it a bit more proper upstanding work?
I ain't nowhere as shitty and rundown as this.
Ah, you'd be surprised.
Saw a tent on fire when I walked in.
Oh, that happens sometimes.
Yeah. Not the
Very
best.
flammable.
So you tell me about your group. There's like 20 of you.
Oh, yeah,
Some come and go.
Some come and go, you know. Sometimes it's 30, sometimes it's 10, you know.
All the
Generally,
jobs come through this David.
but they come to here, and then they get passed out to people who want to take them, so...
What was the last job that came in? I guess it's the one he's on right now.
Yeah. It was, Right. It was a request. Essentially like a babysitting quest. You know, you pick them up and you take them to where they need to be. Other people maybe think of it as kidnapping, but it's not really kidnapping. You know, it's usually people who run away from their jobs, or you know, if they've got time left on the contract, or run away from, you know, wherever. You bring them back to where they're supposed to be.
Like bail bonds.
Right.
I look over to Romy because all I got now is just spill the beans and say, what the fuck, bro? So I kind of look over.
Romy, like, leads forward. He's like, was it a good job? Says, oh, all of us wanted it. It's a lot of money. David said it had set him up for quite a while, and the rest of the boys who went on it too. But they didn't need that many people, so I didn't manage to get to sign up. But, I'd probably end up pissing it away anyway. But yeah, no, it was, you ever heard of that organization out in Encroacher? It's called Blue Horizon.
Blue Horizon.
Yeah, Blue Horizon.
No.
It's they were the ones who made the request.
Blue Horizon.
What are they? I've not heard of those. You heard of
They
those?
sound like
Julie?
a singing group.
I don't know much about them themselves. You know, it's just one of those on the edge research development type organizations, I guess.
of money in R&D.
Aye. Anyway, they wanted some gal. I don't know why, but, easy enough. Probably not too dangerous.
So while David's gone, who'd you kind of go to if you got questions?
No one really, to be honest. Like, we just all kind of kick it until someone comes in with a request, and no one's been coming in, so, quite a few people have drifted off other places.
Not the most secure job.
Not really, but, I mean, what is now? Especially in places like this. But you gotta play for your lungs somehow.
I mean, you are a gunner.
Aye.
What about Merchant Navy?
They don't really need gunners. And when they do, they tend to go for people who are still in active service. And more reliable.
Planet security forces.
I couldn't find any work. I mean, nothing more honest, at least. You gotta take what you can get. As I said, I have to pay off my lung.
Yeah, how you doing on that?
About halfway.
How much one of those run you?
Oh no, I've been paying it off for like 5-6 years. Probably about 200 grand. Probably about 200 more.
I just want to give him 200 grand. What if we had a job for you, just you?
I'm in.
Is everyone here ex-military?
Oh, some of them. Army, Navy, Air Force a little bit, but not really. Most of them served in some kind of armed forces. I think we have a lad out here from the Sycorax Marines. Them crazy bastards.
Sycorax, they're the crazy spec ops guys, aren't they?
I know, tell a lie. He's out with David.
Got a job for you.
I said I'm in.
It's far away.
Sure.
There's a...
Do you need some bodyguarding while you're going off somewhere? Perfectly happy to provide some muscle as long as you need, to be honest.
There's a mining corporation on Talon, and they're desperate for a security guard.
So I'm not gonna be. Am I gonna be coming with you?
I get a cred stick, and I line it up for 10 grand. I put it in front of him. There's one condition.
Right.
You leave here now and you never come back.
I mean, I'll always do. I'm always willing to do as you request, sir. But 10 grand ain't that much. Not for my lifestyle. Gotta pay back my
10
lung.
grand ain't that much, and he's got 200 left on his lung.
I mean, that you can probably put 2 and 2 together as to why he hasn't paid off his lung yet. Tell you what, sir.
I want him to go. I can't have him here.
Tell you what, sir. Where are you going now? Do you need some muscle? Fuck these guys. I'll come with you if you like.
I look over to Romeo.
Yeah.
I want to know what has he contorted his face into? Is he like, this is fine? What are you doing? Stop this.
He's got kind of like a you know, kind of weighing up thing, and essentially, like, he kind of leans forward and he goes, "Your choice, really, on this one."
As he says that, I eye over to the weird plant and the comatose people who are high as fuck from some fucking. It's from something. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But is drug.
Is drug is bad.
I don't want him with us. I don't want him with us. Look, 10 grand, take it or leave it. I'll pay for your flight.
It's not really much in there, sir. If it's come along with you, I'd be happy to jump ship here, but, you know.
Fuck me.
I mean, what am I going to be doing out there? Like, looking after some miners or something for a pittance a week? It's not really for me.
I again look at Nomi and Romy. Fuck off.
Yeah.
I look at Julie and Romeo.
Yeah.
I look like I'm about to spill the beans because I'm like, he's not coming with us. But he needs to get the fuck out of here.
Look at it this way, sir. I served for you on the Battle of Broken Plains. I'll do it again, just as easy. Your say so go, sir.
Well, I tell you what, why don't you just take the money and meet us at the next point? Where is it we're going next, Colton? Where do you want him to meet up with us? And have this like direct eye contact of like, where the fuck do you want this guy to go? He doesn't need to know what's happening.
I'm not giving him 10 grand to have him tail us around and come right back here.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, is like...
He's gonna take that 10 grand and just
stay here.
Burn it and stay here. Sorry, kid, that's all I got for you.
It's no problem. It's not great working here, but it's fine.
Yeah, thing is, I look at David.
Oi.
What if he don't come back?
Probably this place will fall apart. Most of everyone will go their separate ways, form other, you know, groups and keep working the same way. I'll probably drift off somewhere else.
Listen, kid. You see that? And I point at this weird plant thing.
Yeah.
You see that?
Aye?
It's a distraction that delays you from feeling better until you understand what's wrong and why it's wrong.
Oh, you mean the Earthseed?
I pat him on the back and I stand up.
And like he stands up with you and he's like, look, I'll kick it right now if you want. If that's the condition of coming with you.
You'd find your own way, but that ain't the way.
Alright.
And Colton stands up. He looks kind of thoughtful. I think we're done here, Romeo, Julie.
Right you are.
Alright.
See you later, kid. Good luck.
And to you, sir.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, you too. And you get up and leave?
Yeah. This place ain't nothing but desperate people escaping desperate lives.
And you walk out of the bar into the dock essentially. Well, there's lights around the place. You want to head back towards the ship, I'm guessing, everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no point destroying this place.
No.
It's gonna destroy itself.
Head back towards the ship. Mostly in silence. Get on, and essentially on the way back, the Romy radios forward and says, "Don't worry about the power. It's not a problem."
Okay. How did it go?
Nothing went wrong.
Okay. I guess we'll talk when you guys get back.
And as you're walking back, the one thing Romy will say to you, Colton, is he'll look at you and he'll go, "You sure you don't want to bring him with us?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright. Personally, I'd have no objection. I've seen loyalty before. And keeps walking.
You know what this place is? It's a symptom. You don't cure the symptom.
Sure. But sometimes, when you help someone out, you're not doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for them.
I think he helped me.
That's good. And keep walking.
Yeah.
Head towards the ship.
No, me, if you're still paying attention, his game face isn't on. My game face isn't on. But I'm not floating through the station as if when we came in.
Good.
But I still look like I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I think as they walked out that bar, her entire walk changed. And she went from this like light floaty girly thing to just like back to normal.
Slightly mechanical walk. Yeah.
Shut up.
Halt!
Robocop.
Lawbreaker!
Your move, creep.
And I think, seeing as there's not really much else to talk on, as the current course is mostly decided, the one thing that Romy will bring up to everyone, and if there are no objections, he'll say he thinks we should, the ship should probably stop for a supply, basically resupply on White Rock. Just purely
White
because,
Rock.
yeah.
Why?
Well, it's the closest place to pick up supplies. Zenith doesn't really work. There's a couple of stations there, but they're like scout stations and stuff like that. It's the last point before we jump off towards where we're going.
You ever think you're the punchline in the universe's own fucking joke?
Colton, I was a police detective who was thrown in jail for 8 years. And he actually he actually chuckles a bit and like slaps you on the back.
Yeah, Colin laughs.
I watched this confused.
Let's go to fucking White Rock.
Right. And the ship takes off, heads out of the inner system. Astrid enacts a full burn so that you're traveling fast as you travel fast until you reach the encroacher system a couple of weeks later. During that time, it's everyday ship activities.
Yeah, I've been tidying up and fixing my all the locker rooms and the armory and all that.
And I think there's a weird vibe on the ship, probably, of people being closer, but also more in their own
Closer, but the
heads.
chasm has gotten deeper.
Yeah. Like, there's probably more moments of, like, camaraderie and, like, bonding than there has been before, but there's probably, like, days where there's just a gulf and everyone's in their own little space, in their own little head. Like,
I don't know how Colton would be around Nomi after that breakdown moment, but I don't think like Nomi would make eye contact and do a nod, but it's all very respectful of that space.
yeah.
I think. Okay, I know that just happened in like 3 seconds of screen time, but Colton just had therapy.
Yeah.
Colton just gave himself therapy.
It was over the space of days and weeks here. Like,
There's some processing. I think the damnedest thing. I think Colton is still himself. But when he makes a joke, he doesn't cock his gun. He laughs. But I think how he like speaks to Nomi and stuff is still pretty much the same kind of thing.
Yeah, same dynamic, just maybe a couple of small little.
And if you ever hear Colton working and he like fucks up, he doesn't swear. He goes, "Let's go to fucking White Rock."
If Kareen ever walks by and hears him say that, she's just kind of gonna look at him a little confused. Think about saying something and then not say anything. Sorry?
Hi, Kareen.
Hey.
Okay.
How you doing? Do you need any coffee or anything?
How about the past 50 years of my life back?
Your coffee isn't really that strong, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
I wish I had a time machine. That would be something else.
You know everything you've learned in your life.
Yeah.
Sometimes you realize the lessons weren't correct. But that doesn't mean the answers you got weren't. Yeah, coffee be fine, thanks.
Okay.
Okay.
And then Kareen would just wander off, but she'd kind of think about it.
It probably sounds like fucking nonsense.
Honestly, it doesn't.
It doesn't, yeah. It makes
she
sense to her.
can-
She just
She can relate to that a lot.
yeah. She just doesn't know how to tell him that she relates to it, so
Yeah.
she just kind of goes and does her thing.
And maybe like a couple of days into the trip, Romy calls a crew meeting, but it's not like a you have to attend. The only person he says is he essentially says crew meeting for anyone who wants to be there, but Kareen, can you see me up in the kitchen, please?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Kareen is extremely concerned that he's gonna make her cook, so she's going up there, but she's terrified.
We all are.
Colton, Nomi?
Yeah, it comes through as I'm trying to fix this fucking speaker who, it seems to be like pitching every voice like an octave higher, and I can't figure it out.
Oh, amazing.
Just Kareen, please?
I'll be there in a minute.
Right you are. See you soon, Colton.
Leave it like that. Leave it like that. Forever. He can't fix it ever.
I won't
The
remember.
ability to fucking do that.
I won't remember to do that every time.
Oh, but it's so good.
Once you're all there, sit down, and essentially Colton brings out dinner, which is pasta with like this kind of like tomato sauce on it, with like just a shaving of some type of cheese, maybe like Parmesan or something.
Don't know what this cheese is called, but it's on it.
And a tiny sprinkle of basil. It is an incidental tomato, except for done right.
Corinne comes in and she smells basil and she like stops and she's like, before she even realizes the food's been made, or she's like, please don't make me. Please,
No. It's all. I've already cooked. It's fine.
Oh.
And he like
thank God.
sets it down in front of all of you. And he like.
Oh, you meant Romy. I was like, why am I making this food?
No.
Sorry. Okay.
Romy made the food.
Okay.
And he sits down and he says, so we have some news. I thought it was best to tell you as soon as possible. Given everything, really. We don't think it's possible it was maybe a shell corporation or something, but the mercenaries we talked to, your dad didn't hire them, we don't think.
What? Why would they say he did? And then who did?
This may help, you may know. Does your dad have a company called Blue Horizon?
What? Say that again?
Blue Horizon.
It's not my dad's company.
Oh, okay. Well, then, good news. Your dad didn't hire the mercenaries to kidnap you. Probably.
Wait, Blue Horizon was a group that I was a part of a long time ago.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Why in the world? I thought it basically fell apart. I didn't think there was anyone left of it. It was a long time ago. I was still a student.
Was it an entertainment group?
No.
I said it sounded like an entertainment group.
No, it was kind of political. We were very idealistic and stupid back then. Why in the world would anyone from that want to kidnap me? And why would they say it was my dad? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, it was believable, I guess.
Did they say where? Do you have any idea where they got in touch with this group?
No, we didn't get the details or anything. We figured, like, you know, you'd have more information on it, so...
Well, I mean, I thought it was basically done. I don't know. I'll have to look into it.
Yeah.
I guess.
Another question.
Yeah.
Maybe is that
Not my
correct?
dad. What?
Oh, no, it isn't.
Oh, thank God.
Sorry.
When backstories collide.
Wait. Now you've asked, I have to double check. Because in my head, I'm like, no, that's not the one. But, you're not sure.
Okay. Fuck.
What I'll tell you is, for Colton, it would not ring a bell.
Okay.
Okay, I have no idea what you're talking about, so now I'm really confused. Fuck.
Sorry.
Kareen looks really concerned and is just like, what?
I mean, we'll go to White Rock, do a quick supply run. We'll head out past Zenith, find this place, set the captain out there, and then we'll have a chat and we'll decide what we want to do next.
What kind of group was Blue Horizons?
I mean, we were just stupid students. It was like a political thing.
Oh, activism.
Yeah.
Do you want a bit more info on it? It was the idea behind Blue Horizon was curing the problems of society and finding new mysteries and boundaries to explore.
I
The
don't
fuck
understand.
does that mean?
Drugs.
No, I mean, we wanted to explore space and help people, basically. I don't know. I need to think about this more.
Yo.
I don't understand why. I don't understand why anyone from it would want to kidnap me. I didn't even know there was anyone really left.
As far as you know, all of the members of Blue Horizon are dead.
Ed.
Sorry.
I. Maybe it's somebody masquerading as them. It doesn't make any sense. There wasn't supposed to be anything left.
Too much of a coincidence, though, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, well, we need to maybe track down whoever this actually is. If it is one of the people, I'd be very shocked.
You work out a particular system, planet, station.
Did we? Maybe?
Not as Blue Horizon. Not as far as you remember, anyway.
Yeah.
But you kind of, like, enveloped working as a scout into Blue Horizon, and you operated out of one of the Zenith stations as a scout.
I mean, I was still with them when I was a scout out of Zenith, so maybe we can go there and find something out. It's kind of risky since I'm basically going to the people that tried to kidnap me, but I mean, I don't understand how it could be anybody from Blue Horizon. Everyone's gone except me.
Then maybe it's someone who knew you from back then.
But why would they want to kidnap me? I was just a scout captain. Scout pilot, really. I don't know. I think we need more information.
Yeah.
Let's go to White Rock. Let's take care of the captain.
Let's go to fucking White Rock.
Yeah.
I guess
Alright.
then we'll go from there.
Let's keep going. And you'll...
Romy, what's this white stuff on top? It's nice.
It's cheese.
That's cheese.
Yeah. Unless it's coconut, but I wouldn't do that.
No,
And he like leans
doesn't taste
forward and
like coconut.
like tastes it. He's like, no, that's not coconut.
It's good.
Yeah.
Cheese. What kind of cheese? We should get some more of that cheese.
I'm not sure what it is.
That'd be good on boodles.
Boodles.
It's not really my speciality.
Oh, boodles would be amazing.
I know this is pretty good.
And I'm gonna say you finish your meal and head off towards White Rock. Again, a couple of weeks. You're still doing okay. Astrid, like, you know, in one of the dinners where she does turn up, lets you know that you're doing okay on fuel and everything, but, you know, all this traveling, sooner or later you're gonna have to restock. It'll be pretty expensive, but you essentially have a decent fund for ship repairs and upgrades and whatnot. While you're on White Rock, you resupply. I imagine that Colton doesn't get off the ship, as a guess.
No, I think he does.
Okay.
I think he does. Because he's got a list that he needs to get anyway.
Yeah. You probably won't be able to. For now, I would say is on the list. Most of that is like. Romy at least would say this is for after, essentially. You know, for once we've done all this stuff. we'll come back.
But I mean, supplies. Like he's the quartermaster. He does
yeah.
the supplies.
Yeah. while you're out, kind of like organizing stuff, at one of the more like busy mercantile sectors of the station you're on, this very attractive young girl kind of like gets in your way and stops you. She's got like flyers. She's like, a discount for give me a second, I need to get the name of this right. Go. There we are. Red Dawn Cloud Surfing. 10,000 credits for groups of 4 or under.
The fuck is cloud surfing?
Oh, you've never been cloud surfing? Oh, so due to the specific nature of White Rock and how its, especially its atmosphere is made up, you can actually go surfing on clouds. It's possible anywhere on any planet, but the experience on White Rock is just out of this world. Well, not out of this world. You're on the world, but it's really
Please
spectacular.
stop talking.
Sorry.
Bye. I take the flyer.
Okay. That's all that happens of note.
Okay, yeah, I get the stuff. I come back and I put like, I probably, whenever I go and get supplies, I probably bring back data sheets and just galaxy news, system news, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Maybe some, dumb snacks rather than important supplies as well, and I just kind of toss them on the table. Anyone ever been cloud surfing?
What? Cloud surfing? Yes. I love cloud surfing.
How'd
They
you
have that
surf on
here?
a cloud? Apparently it's out of this world.
It is. It's actually really fun.
You've never been cloud surfing on White Rock, but you know the details of why White Rock is special, because, well, all of you do technically. The cloud cover on White Rock is the reason why it was thought to be an ice planet, because it is completely covered in cloud. Much denser and yeah.
Man, I'd forgotten this place is amazing for that. It's known for it. We should do it.
Sorry, White Rock is known for cloud surfing. Yeah, okay, yep.
Well, I mean, it's one of the things. I've done it before. It's so fun. It's like flying. Would be a nice break, honestly, from everything.
Maybe on the way back.
There is no fucking way I'm going cloud surfing on this planet.
It says 4 or less, so you could set out and the rest of us could do it.
Yeah, somebody would definitely have to stay on the ship.
Volunteer.
Perfect. We'll
Nomi?
We'll maybe stop by on the way back.
Okay.
Yep, we'll come back to fucking White Rock.
Sorry, Colton.
It's a different planet.
Kareen's probably like catching some of these weird vibes from Colton, but she's so happy about the idea of cloud surfing that she's just kind of like, it's just a little ray of hope through all of this sadness that
Cloud surfing was very much a university thing for Kareen. Like, she's done it a couple of times since, but and you take off from the station, head out towards Zenith. As you head towards Zenith, incidentally, Kareen, you have the exact location for the station, which presumably would be Nadir Station, and where the world ship was. If you want, you can scan that area and like see what you can pick up from there before you like head into it.
Yeah, I definitely do that.
It's a lot easier when you have a specific area, like a very small area of space to scan. Otherwise, you're just like, show me everything, and then it's hard to process everything and pick up. What you can pick up from the area is that there's minimal metals. Like very, very sparse readings of like metal and things like that. No life signs at all. However, you do pick up what would essentially be types of ceramics, which implies that predominantly the area, what's left over there at least, is ceramic in nature, with some metals where needed. It's essentially, and you're a scout, so you'd know this. Essentially, if you want to hide something, you build it out of ceramic, because it's much, much harder to find when you do a generalized scan. However, if you're looking for it, you can pick up, essentially, and like this is a trick that basically only the scouts really know, or anyone who's like involved in really, really shady dealings. If you scan a reasonably small area, you can pick up essentially like the gaps where the ceramics are. So if there's like a station built out of ceramic, like predominantly ceramics, you can pick that up.
Interesting. Do I see something like a station?
Where you were scanning?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like there's a lot of like empty space, as it were, where space should be. But it's what you would say was ceramic. But it's not like in a shape of a space station or anything like that. It's all kind of all over the place.
Okay. So I think I would tell the crew that,
Yeah.
probably at a meal or,
Is there any lithium out there? We're low on lithium.
I don't know. I didn't scan for that.
It's not important.
I mean, I can. It is a little strange that there's this much ceramics everywhere, or empty spaces, really. I would.
It's like debris.
I was just gonna say the other thing I'll give you, just because you're in the area now, like you're not close to where you were found, when you were found, but it's in terms of like the entire systems combined, you're reasonably close to where you were found. And you've never been back here, as far as I know, right?
No.
So.
Being here is strange.
Oh, so.
It's just been a long time. I think Kareen's like super hesitating to tell them more because she's just.
I've been here before.
Well, I mean, I used to fly scouts not far from here. Let's take care of the captain first. That's what we need to do. Maybe we can scan some more and search out this maybe Blue Horizon member after.
Question. Considering what was here, do we need protection?
I don't know. That's a good question.
There's no sign of power or anything, like no power signatures or anything, so most likely whatever's there is depowered.
I think as long as we don't actually come in contact with anything, we should be fine. There's nothing out there that has power that's actively,
I mean,
occupied.
I'd hate to feel apathetic.
Would you like to, and I think Romy would also suggest this, essentially say like, let's cut the slow burn when we're in like visual scanning range, not get too close.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good plan.
And we'll essentially get to that moment now as you pull up essentially close to, but not that very close, to the station. On the visual scanner, essentially Kareen, and I'm gonna assume everyone's here to like see it, Kareen pulls up a visual of what looks like the remains of possibly a ship and possibly a station. It has been shot to hell, Colton, you'd recognize this as essentially like, ship activity. Basically a ship, at least one ship, shot the shit out of whatever was here.
Broken up.
It's very broken up, all depressurized, no power.
How close are we to?
Far away for now.
50 million kilometers.
I'd say being back here in this area, Kreen, you're definitely feeling like a bit off.
Yeah.
You're, like, I wouldn't say you're like got any type of specific feeling, but the best I could say is it's like when you can't remember the name of a movie star, but you're so sure you know it, and it's like on the tip of your tongue. That's kind of how you feel, like you're on the precipice of something, but you don't know what it is, and yeah.
Yeah, I think Kareen would... So, have we arrived? I think on the way to it, she would just kind of be flitting about a little bit. Like, she'd be in the bridge, but then she'd get up and, like, go to the garden for a little bit, just, like, start to do something, and then, like, stop before she actually really does much, and then walk out.
Trying
and
to
then, like,
keep busy.
Yeah, but like she can't focus, so she'd like go and check on Astrid, like walk in, just kind of look at Astrid, be like, "Hey, do you need anything? Let me know if you need anything," and then walk out before Astrid even has a chance to say anything. And
Right.
just doing that kind of all over the ship.
Yeah,
And then coming back to the bridge, she just can't focus. She's just kind of like high strung.
that's fair. So, on the way there, I feel like I should ask, are you focusing your scans on there, or is it more broad? Are you just, like, bouncing about it?
I think I'd probably do scans of where we're going, like
Yeah.
more focused, and then I do wider scans. I don't think she's gonna focus scans on there until after.
Alright.
She knows she needs to have a conversation with the crew, but she's not ready to do that until they
Yeah.
take care of the captain.
And to be fair, like, you're not really keeping much from them.
Yeah.
Please roll me a recon with a boon.
Okay.
Or pilot with a
boon?
boon. Both work. We have a roll today, guys! Yay!
It was so unexpected. I didn't have my character sheet
Oh, yeah,
open.
that's
Like I
okay.
had the map open, but not the character sheet. Okay, boon, you said.
Yes. Oh, okay. Okay. You kind of essentially for scanning, especially on this ship, and it's not as advanced as your scout ship, but you can essentially run scan protocols. It essentially means anything of interest is isolated and saved for your reports. On the way to the station, I would say during one of your session, in between one of your sessions of bouncing about, you find one of the reports that stands out, which is essentially very similar to the station you're going to, and specifically intact. So most likely made out of mostly ceramics, some metallic and etc. things. It's about half a day kind of swerve from where you're going. Again, out in the middle of nowhere space.
Huh. I guess I would tell the crew that too. Maybe worth investigating after we take care of the captain.
I mean, there's no rush.
Sorry, is that made of ceramics? What kind of... That doesn't make any sense. Why is it made of ceramics?
It's more stealth. Basically, metal.
Colton, you see Colton try to process the idea of stealth.
Yeah.
So it doesn't come up on scans easily, right? I just kind of know what to look for because Scout.
Yeah.
if you want to hide or, you know, at least make yourself less obvious, you build whatever it is you're flying or living on with ceramics, because it's just harder to see.
Whoa, it's not too far away. How about we get in visual range, see what it is, and if it's nothing interesting, you know, maybe just a satellite or...
Hey, what if there's people here hiding in ceramics? Is that a thing? Can you check for that?
I don't think I saw a power source. It could be
like the barest maybe of a power source. It's so weak that, you know.
it's we're a little too far, and I don't think I could scan for a power source really properly from here. So I don't know, it's possible.
I don't like the idea of being jumped. Maybe we should check it out.
Yeah, sounds good.
Still don't have any guns on the ship.
Still don't have any guns on the ship. Alright, Kareen, take us closer. Be cautious. Maintain your scanning of that area first. Get us to within visual range so we know what we're dealing with. And then if it's nothing, we can just, like, skip it and head over to the seat of the captain.
I mean, they're gonna see us too, you know that, right?
I mean, they will have already seen us by now, right?
True.
So, we may as well know what's in the area.
Okay. I think I would just talk to Astrid over the intercom and just let her know to, if we need to run, to be ready.
Okay, so she's gonna prep her essentially some kick juice to get ready for any...
Just in case.
Okay. As time goes on, as you get closer, you're scanning it. Essentially what I can tell you, because it's not giant, you know, it's like maybe some type of station, but not one of the big like deluxe stations or like corporation stations. It's a lot smaller than that. And the best I can give you is maybe power and probably not life signs. It's a little bit like iffy in that regards. And as you get close to it, you manage to get within visual range. You pull up a visual on it, essentially like a camera view, let's say, for the sake of argument. And on it's a pretty much fully formed space station. There's little bits and pieces that are like floating, but nothing to worry about. Just appears to be depowered mostly. But technically speaking, you have vac suits. On the side of it is let's find it here. A logo with a blue sun coming up from a green plains with a spaceship flying towards the sun. You recognize that symbol. That is the symbol of Blue Horizons.
I am so confused.
And we'll end things there for today.
Oh God.
So
Green's gonna lose it.
Did everyone have a good day today?
Fuck you.
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
No, that's worse.
Oh God. I was literally just like waiting for the shoe to drop this entire episode.
I saw your face when I mentioned who hired them, and you were off on the ship, and you were like,
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, wait, she can't hear this, but fuck.
I teleport into the room.
I'm in this scene now.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh God.
So that was a fairly significant lore drop, I'd say. Probably the biggest one we've had, at least.
Dude, that is so fucked up.
Yep.
That's psyops.
God. Okay.
feel free to talk about it as much as you like. I probably won't
Sappy's
answer
here.
stuff that... Hey, Sappy!
Hi, Sappy, we miss you. You were given absolutely absurd amounts of coffee, by the way, by Green, trying to check on you.
Yeah, like, I mean, I won't answer stuff that isn't blatantly obvious, but if you'd like to go over anything quickly before we end the episode.
Every conflict that he's been a part of.
Maybe.
Every single fucking one. It's like the military-industrial complex turned up to 11.
But why? Like, what is the actually? What is the fucking possible reason anyone would do that?
There's only
shit?
one reason: money and power. That's the only reason to do anything.
Yeah, that's true.
I always wonder with the whole money and power thing, like, what actually is fucking enough for these people? Just gonna put that out there.
Well, speaking as a sociopath,
yeah, in my defense, I did hit you up before the episode and say, you know, fair warning, mate. I didn't say fair warning, I'm going to crush your entire world.
I don't know why. You know I don't need you to do that.
I know, but it's always nice to have a little bit.
But it's
of
always nice to make you stew in your own filth for half an hour before the show.
But yeah, no, it's and you know, like you got to hang out with an old comrade for a bit. He's had a bit of a rough life.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Colton did what Colton could.
Yeah.
To what he could, but I think Colton was more. I know Colton. I don't. Colton wants some answers.
Yeah.
But in how long's it been? Like a month? Was that episode a month long?
Yeah, about that.
In a month, I think he's figured out that he's not worthless.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in. That essentially the entirety of your achievements and everything you've done has basically been like maybe constructed or
entirely fabricated from what we know, what he knows.
Yeah, from the information he has.
So yeah, but it was nice. I remember saying, "It's like there's no way Colton can process this by himself," and all like one dude said one thing, and suddenly he processed it by himself. Yeah. well, with help of Irish lad. I wanted him on the ship just so Sheepy has to do an Irish accent constantly.
It's not just the Irish accent. He'd have to go through a couple months of detox, which would not be pretty, and I was not looking forward to having to do that. But
yeah, I mean, he gave me that. I think in the short time that you gave him, he gave off that veteran that you see on the streets, that kind of stereotype. Not stereotype, but you know what I mean. That
Colton was essentially like a life buoy for him. You know, it's something to cling on to when he's got nothing to.
Yeah.
Like, I can't promise it would be pretty and that you could 100% trust him or anything like that. You know, but yeah.
No, and Colton knew that. That's why he was like, "Hey, here's some money." 10 grand is a lot of money, by the way.
Mm.
But you gotta leave. You gotta get out of here. You gotta change this. But Colton realized that the way the guy was coping was wrong, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm coping wrong." He wasn't even talking to that dude at that point.
Yeah.
He was telling himself that he was coping incorrectly.
And yeah, that guy, like, essentially the lung replacement doesn't quite fit exactly. So
yeah, I think it was some nonsense he was feeding to try and excuse, because he was obviously ashamed of it.
Yeah.
And the best Colton
Well-
can do is plant that seed. I mean, if he'd have took the money, that would have been better.
Yeah, he definitely is ashamed of it, you know, especially in front of a former commander who he, you know, has a lot of respect for. But like essentially the replacement lung is kind of like a bit too big, and when he inhales, it doesn't always. Essentially, he's in constant pain, which is where that started. Because should we talk about the seeds for a second?
Yeah.
So
35-2, FYI.
yes.
Maybe not talk about the seeds.
No, it's
But they're
just
basically painkillers. They're
Yes.
like self-syringing painkiller.
It's an all-in-one because
yeah,
it's going
I
to
mean,
help you
the-
cope with
the-
the pain and physical and mental, right?
Yeah.
They're,
I mean, there are all
um,
sorts of other bits involved in that vine. But
When-
yeah, the seeds are.
when they're processed properly, which some people can do.
Hi.
They like Nomi. They can be turned into like a really effective painkiller without as much of the like addictive in their like pure seed form. They're very similar to like some of the drugs we have that can dull the pain but dull everything.
And I assumed Naomi knew what those were when she saw them.
Nomi did, yeah. I don't know
I
who
keep saying
Naomi is.
Naomi. I'm
That's
sorry.
She doesn't
Julie.
care.
Yo, Julie.
Is everyone okay with just basically be like, hey, I'm so and so, and this is where you can find me
I'm
quickly?
Peachy. Follow me on Peachy Pixelay. That's it. We're done.
Test games, lots of Wonderland stuff.
I'm Amelia Tyler. Follow me on Twitter under my name.
Yeah.
Because that's how that works.
Safi Pie at Safi Pie. Go give her a follow on Twitch and anywhere else you'd like to.
Do that. She's awesome.
Yeah. I feel like everyone watching may have some fun with some theories and stuff.
I'm very excited for
Yeah,
this.
I need
and
to
also
know
terrified.
what's going on.
Also, I will say there is a reason that Nomi was so very quiet after the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were quiet. I was like, this is weird.
Says he.
So
Mr. Processing things healthily.
It's the first healthy thing Colton has ever done. He did
know.
it with a fucking stogie in his mouth, though.
Uh-huh.
Drinking beer and whiskey.
Laughing.
I mean,
So part of the reason we didn't go to the station is because I didn't want to do the captain send off without Safi here.
yeah.
yeah, that
cool.
makes sense.
Next week.
And her car is fixed, so.
Yay.
Oh, that's good. So yes, let us head off. We'll do a very quick outro here where we essentially say goodbye. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Where do I move in this world? Could you please tell me what the hell I'm doing for it? Bring me to my knees. I'm so stupid. Would you tell me honestly if I wasn't meant to be what I see when I dream? Where do I move in this world? Could you please tell me what the hell I'm doing for it? Bring me to my knees. I'm so stupid. Would you tell me honestly if I wasn't meant to be what I see when I dream? It's a big, big world out there. Plenty possibilities. All of them is killing me soft. I want the real me figured out right here, right now. Is this lifestyle the right style for me? Only with time will I see. But by then it'll be too late. Looking in the mirror at a stranger's face. If I wasn't right, would you tell me straight? Or would you let me? Where do I move in this world? Could you please tell me what the hell I'm doing for it? Bring me to my knees. I'm so stupid. Would you tell me honestly if I wasn't meant to be what I see when I dream? Where do I move in this world? Could you please tell me what the hell I'm doing for it? Bring me to my knees. I'm so stupid. Would you tell me honestly if I wasn't meant to be what I see when I dream? I want something great instead of all dismay, but I can't find my way. I fall on my face, I flatline my faith. I want all escape, let's throw it all away. Just like the thoughts I trade for a couple of bucks and this big bucket of love. I'm steady throwing my up, hoping for that 1 in 100. But fuck stressing the numbers. Pop this deck in your summer and see the inner of my head declog like a plunge. Y'all be akin to my feces. Your best bet be the Bee Gees. The way you think living's staying alive. I got my head and my smile, but don't know where I'll fly. I'm just spreading my wings, I'm fine with taking my time. I used to rush it all out, I'm trying to slow it all down. Take my feet and lose ground, give them somewhere to hang. I always want it right now, trying to slow it all down. Take my mind and lose ground, watch it floating away. Yeah. Where do I move in this world? Could you please tell me what the hell I'm doing for it? Bring me to my knees. I'm so stupid, would you tell me honestly if I wasn't meant to be what I see when I dream? Where do I move in this world? Could you please tell me what the hell I'm doing for it? Bring me to my knees. I'm so stupid, would you tell me honestly if I wasn't meant to be what I see when I dream?